galaxy far away, the most incredible space vehicles ever seen wage war. A war between good and evil. A war between both sides of the Force, the strongest power in the universe. Use the Force. Feel the Force. Fight the battles. Live the adventure with Star Wars Return of the Jedi Collection, the biggest collection of vehicles, figures, and playsets in the galaxy, each sold separately, only from Kenner.
Okay, again, this is mostly the same as the last one, but more of an emphasis again on the vehicles, and that really is something that they really try to drive across into the whole entire vehicles. But they emphasize, like, the Force, both sides, and they really want, like, Kenner was so big. It's something that's so important to remember is that Kenner for a very long time was so big with all this stuff, and now we have Disney who's like in charge of all this, and Disney's done well. Disney's done very well with the Black series and all these other different series that have been going on with the movie and everything, and we got like these new TIE fighters, we got all these new things that are going on, and it's very, very nice stuff, and it's exciting, and believe me, the merchandise is doing well. It's doing really well. It's successful. It's enjoyable. People are liking it. It's going over well, and there's no complaints from me. I mean, I really have to say that. There's really not much I can complain about. Otherwise, it's interesting. They clearly knew what they were doing with these commercials. Something that I definitely will admit to, and interesting to note. And yeah, so there might be one more. I'm gonna check really quickly. If it is, then I'll show it, but we'll see, because I'm not really sure, because it looked like it was the next commercial I found was one that might have just been one from the 5th movie that somehow sneaked in and should have been in that one, but we'll see, guys. We'll see.
Somewhere in space, the most extraordinary creatures ever seen are pawns in a war between good and evil. A war between both sides of the Force, the strongest power in the universe. Use the Force, Luke. Feel the Force. Fight the battles. Live the adventure with Star Wars Return of the Jedi Collection.
Okay, guys. Yes, that one I showed. And that's because, though it seems like all 4 of these basically are focusing on the same exact idea of emphasizing, just in general, they have all these different toys, and it's so big, and it's so great, and they have different images and different moments from the movies and all that. It's still cool stuff, and it's still nice stuff from the movies, and if you haven't watched the movies in a long time, definitely worth watching. That's about it for me with these commercials, obviously. There might, if I do, which I don't think I probably will, I will go and look for some extra ones for Return of the Jedi, but I think I'm basically done with that. The next thing we will be doing, unless there is some extra ones that I was able to find, which I might not even do, I'm not really sure if I really want to, depending on what I think about, is going to be Phantom Menace. Unfortunately, for those that, a lot of people are not very big fans of Phantom Menace for their own reasons, obviously, but, it's, personally, in my opinion, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I think it's a pretty decent movie. I mean, the whole entire, the whole entire pod fights, the pod fight race and all that, that was pretty nice. I mean, there's a bunch of different things that were good. And yes, there are things that are annoying and not necessarily the best. But at the same time, I'm still doing it. It's going to happen, guys. And we're going to move on. We'll then go to Attack of the Clone Wars. And then from there, we'll go to Revenge of the Sith. And we'll finally, after all of that's done, move on to the 7th movie and all those commercials that have come out just recently, guys. And then we'll look at some other expanded world stuff if we can. We'll do that after. But the movies obviously are key because that's what most people will look for, and that's kind of important. That's why I am doing it in the order that I am. So if for those that are kind of like, why aren't you doing the expanded universe? Why aren't you doing that first or something like that? Why aren't you doing this or whatever? It's though if you're trying to do it in a timeline, yes, you could do it in that order. In my opinion, movies first, get them done, and then go into the expanded universe. Obviously, as I said before, the 8th movie should eventually come out in the next year. So when that does come out, when the commercials start coming out and stuff, yes, expect me to do some catch up with that. same idea with like the Power Rangers in the past. Like I've said that I was gonna do that, and I don't know when, but I will finally like do the last part of the Dino Charge stuff with all the extra commercials that they added in towards the very end of Dino Charge, and then I'll wait for obviously Dino Supercharge to do the majority of it, or even up to the hiatus point. So that's about it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. So goodbye, guys.